Ben!
Jacob!
Ben, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Baruch Hashem, how's the baby?
Baruch Hashem. Baby's good. Baby's doing very well.
Was it your turn or was it my turn?
I think it might be my turn.
Okay, I guess it's your turn. I think this is the correct chapter.
Yes, 7. Okay. I'm preparing mentally and strategically for this.
And physically.
And physically.
And spiritually.
And spiritually. To articulate the divisions, the parts of zrizut.
Correct.
Which they say is zil. Okay, so let's do it. חלקי הזריזות 2. אחד קודם המעשה, ואחד אחרי כן. There are 2 parts to zeal. One is before the act, and one is after. קודם התחלת המעשה הוא שלא יחמיץ האדם את המצווה. So before you do the act, you want to have zeal, you want to be speedy, you want to be motivated to do the action, to do the mitzvah, to not delay in it.
Yeah. Literally to let it spoil, become chametz.
Right. אלא בהגיע זמנה או בהזדמנה לפניו, או בעלותיו ומחשבתו. So whenever you, it is the time to make the mitzvah, if it's maybe a time-bound mitzvah, or it occurred to you to do a mitzvah, or it just came in your mind, you thought about, oh, there's a mitzvah that I can do, ימהר יחיש מעשהו, לאחוז בה ולעשות אותה, ולא יניח זמן לזמן שיתרבה בינתיים. Immediately you should go after it and grasp it and do it, and don't procrastinate or let time pass by between thinking about it and doing it. כי אין סכנה כסכנתו, אשר הנה כל רגע שמתחדש, יוכל להתחדש איזה עיכוב למעשה הטוב. Because this is a very big danger. Because in every moment that passes, or in every new moment, some new delay can cause you to not do something good. Right. So it reminds me of the Mishnah in Avot. Right? I think I listened to. I think Donnie maybe said it was one of his favorites. Im anali mini, im anili miani, and then it says at the end, im lo achshav imatai.
Right. He did say that is one of his favorite Mishnayot in Avot.
Right. And not for nothing, I mentioned Dani because
he's not here. Yeah. He's not here. He should be here. He should be teaching us Mesilat Yesharim, but Dani doesn't like us that much.
ועל אמיתת זה הדבר העירונו זיכרונם לברכה. And this is the truth of this matter. Our sages told us בעניין המלכת שלמה שאמר דוד לבניהו. This is in the matter of anointing Shlomo. David told to Bniyahu, והורדתם אותו אל גיחון, וענה בניהו, אמן, כן יאמר השם. I told him to swiftly take him to Gichon, where the anointing was happening. And Bniyahu said, amen, let's do it. And immediately went to do it. Amru ze lashonam. They said, our sages, that Rabbi Pinchas b'shem Rabbi Chanan Ditzipori. Rabbi Pinchas in the name of Rabbi Chanan Ditzipori. והלא כבר נאמר, wasn't it already said, הנה בן נולד לך, הוא יהיה איש מנוחה? מנוחה. אלה הרבה קטרוגים עמדו מכאן ועד גיחון. So wasn't it already told to David that his son is going to be king? So why do you need to hasten? Like, why do you need it to happen so fast? And they say there's a lot of things that can happen from the time that was told that Solomon was born and until he gets to Gichon and being anointed. So
yeah, so a kitrug literally means a prosecuting attorney,
right.
But kitrug is anything that in heaven can stop you from doing things.
על כן הזהירו זיכרונם לברכה מחילתא. And they also warned us, our sages warned us, as it said, as it's written in Mechilta, ושמרתם את המצוות, מצווה הבאה לידיך אל תחמיצנה. And you have kept the mitzvot, a mitzvah that comes, that is within your reach, do not miss it. Or do not allow it to become chametz, to, how do you say when the, how do you say the shmarim?
Well,
What's
yeah,
shmarim?
we say to let bread rise, but
Rise,
it really means ferment.
Ferment, don't let it ferment, yeah.
Yeah.
ואמרו לעולם יקדים אדם לדבר מצווה. They also said in Nazir, in the Talmud, a man should always be early to do a mitzvah. Sorry. Wow. שלפי שהקדימה בחירה לצעירה, זכתה וקדמה 4 דורות בישראל למלכות.
So this, I think, has to do with Yaakov and marrying Leah before Rachel. I mean, we could look it up. We could see what the Talmud is talking about. This is talking about Lot. This is talking about where is this? This is a long.
קדמה בחירה לצעירה. That was.
You found it?
Just here. The one below, yeah.
עולם יקדים אדם לדבר מצווה שבשכר לילה אחת קדמתה בחירה לצעירה. Oh, this is the daughters of Lot.
Lot?
Yeah.
Interesting.
זכתה וקדמה.
Right, because from, who is it, Moab?
Because, Moab and Ruth and, yeah, interesting. Okay?
Okay.
It is interesting considering there's a sense in which when fermentation occurs, a certain kind of life takes over. Brings to mind the feeling that when you neglect a responsibility, it haunts you. Like a living thing, but not like a ghost zombie. That's, yeah. It's, it ferments, it grows.
ואמרו, in פסחים in the Talmud also, זריזים מקדימים למצוות. Those who are quick do the mitzvot first. וכן אמרו בברכות, לעולם ירוץ אדם לדבר מצווה ואפילו בשבת. And they also said in brachot in the Talmud, a man should always run towards a mitzvah, even on Shabbat. ובמדרש, ויקרא רבה, and in the Midrash they said, הוא ינגנו על מוות בזריזות, כאילין ולמטה, כמה דעת אמר בתוך עולמות תופפות.
Let's see how they translate this.
So it says, he shall lead us with zeal in youth. with zeal as young maidens, as it is said, in the midst of maidens playing the timbrels. In youth and young maidens are related words in Hebrew. Youth and what does it say above? How is it in Hebrew again? ונגיע למוות בזריזות כאילין ולמטה. עלמות, maidens, okay. כאילין ולמטה.
Oh, ינהגנו al mut. Get it? Alamot.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so
That's a tough one.
That's an interesting way to translate al-mut. I mean, there, yeah.
In youth, al-mut.
I guess. I mean, unless they're saying it's al-mut, but not that's.
What is this name? Samech Vav?
Well, where's my?
What's Samech Vav? Samech is what?
Samech is where did you see Samech? Samech is 66.
60. I don't have it.
This is chapter 7.
Oh, you're looking at the.
Yeah. See how they.
I don't have my copy here.
How dare you not have your copy? And I'm so old, I have to take my glasses off to read.
Oh, you're one of those people that wears glasses and you have to take it off to read something?
And these are bifocals, believe it or not.
Again, Midrash. You have anything?
Yeah, eternally and young maidens are similarly constructed in the Hebrew. Al-mut, I guess they're translating eternally. Yeah. Al-mut.
Al-mut bizrizut. Keilin ulmata.
So
what's ulmata?
Ulmata is Aramaic for young women.
Okay, so that's alamot. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very cute drasha on alamot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a. I didn't expect it, and if it wasn't in the midrash, I'm not sure I would be such a huge fan of it. By the way, Donnie is actually listening, as opposed to coming on and teaching us. We have to just stumble through it ourselves because Rabbi Donnie doesn't want to teach.
He's where we're channeling him.
Yeah. And we're gonna just ignore young God because why not?
Every time I yawn, so I summon him though. So
there you
go. Okay. כי הזריזות היא מידת שלמות גדול אשר טבעו של האדם מונע ממנו עתה. זריזות, zeal is an attribute. Is a great attribute. I don't know how to translate this.
Of wholeness.
Is an attribute of wholeness.
Yeah.
In the nature that the nature of man
keeps us from it.
Thank you. ומי שמתגבר ותופס בה כל מה שיוכל, and whoever goes above his nature, triumphs over his nature, and he grabs at it, however much he can. הנה לעתיד לבוא, יזכה לה באמת. In the world to come, he will truly merit it. אשר הבורא יתברך ייתן לו שכרו חלף מי שישתדל אחריה בזמן עבודתו. That the Creator will give him his reward by his effort that he did while he was doing
in exchange for
the effort that he did during his avodah, during his work, his actions. אך הזריזות אחר התחלת המעשה הוא But now we will go talk about the zeal, the speediness that you have after you are doing the act. שכיוון שאחז במצווה, ימהר להשלים אותה ולא להקל מעליו כמי שמתאווה להשליח מעליו מסעו. As you're doing something, you need to make sure that you finish it in time, that you do it quickly, but also you don't want to do it as if it's something that you want to take off your back and not you don't care for. So it's tricky. אלא מהירתו פן לא יזכה לגמור אותה. You want to be quick about it because you want to make sure because you fear that you will not merit to finish it. ועל זה הרבו להזהיר, זיכרונם לברכה, ואמרו, בראשית רבה, and our sages said in the midrash, כל המתחיל במצווה ואינו גומר אותה, קובר אשתו ובניו. One who starts a mitzvah and does not finish it will bury or buries his wife and his kids. Okay, that's a tough one.
Yeah, that is.
In the vision. Okay. So is he going to explain this? Or I guess maybe in the midrash?
I don't think so. He's just giving us lots of verses from thing telling us. Yeah. Right. Christian says, it also makes me think of Genesis 4:7 and God specifically saying sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must master it. Actually, the Hebrew there says you will master it. And then relating to that too, I think it's a New Testament scripture that says something like, if you know the right thing to do, but do not, that is a sin to you. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
So they also said in the Midrash, and we're going to continue bringing verses, אין המצווה נקראת אלא על שם גומרה. A mitzvah is attributed only to the one who completed it. ואמר שלמה המלך עליו השלום, and King Solomon said in Proverbs, חזית איש מהיר במלאכתו לפני מלכים יתייצב, בל יתייצב לפני חשוכים. So a person, do you see a man quick in his work? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before lowly men. So I guess he's saying that a person that is quick at his work, he will eventually stand in front of kings. He will not do it for people of a lower status.
Dark men. Interesting.
וחכמים זיכרונם לברכה, and our sages told us in Sanhedrin, יחסו לו השבח הזה על שמייר במלאכת בניין הבית ולא נתעצל בה לאחר אותה. Our sages attributed to King Solomon that built the temple, and he did it quickly, and he was not lazy about accomplishing it. וכן דרשו על משה עליו השלום, על שמיער מלאכת המשכן. And they also said this about Moses, that he was quick in the building of the Mishkan, the tabernacle. וכן תמצא כל מעשיהם של צדיקים תמיד במהירות. And you will also find that all of the actions of righteous people are always do them quickly. They always do them quickly. אברהם כתוב בו בראשית, and about Abraham it says, וימהר אברהם האוהלה אל שרה, ויאמר מעריב וגומר ויתן לה נער וימהר. Right, so it says in Bereshit that he went quickly to the tent. Why did he go to the tent to Sarah to tell her about?
This was when he had just
spoken to the angels.
Yeah, when he had just done Brit Milah, and the angels come. He sees the angels, and so he runs, and he tells Sarah to run, and he gave the young man to run quickly.
It also says about Rivka v'tema'er u'te'ar kida gomer, and she hastened emptied her pitcher in the trough.
Yeah, that's when she saw Elazar.
וכן אמרו במדרש, and they also said in the midrash, ותמהר האישה, גומר, they also said the woman was quick, משופטים, what is this, about דבורה, or
about the mother of Shimshon.
Okay. מלמד, this teaches us, שכל מעשיהם של צדיקים במהירות, that like we said, all of the actions of righteous people are done in haste or quickly. אשר לא ייתנו הפסק זמן, לא אל התחלת המצווה ולא אל השלמתה. They don't pause or delay before they do the mitzvah and while as they're doing it to complete it. Yeah, I mean, I wonder if he's going to give examples or he's going to talk a little bit about, I mean, I don't know if it, I mean, I'm trying to think if discussing this matters, but like, how does it, like he said, you want to appear not like you're being too quick about it. Like I know that you're not supposed to stand too close to the synagogue door. Like you're not supposed to pray too close to the synagogue door. I don't know if it's halacha, but I read it somewhere because it might seem that you
want to leave.
So you need to be like a certain distance from there.
Sounds like something that's probably in Shulchan Aruch. Yeah, I mean, look, it's not quickly that you want to get it done, right? But quickly in that you don't want to risk that something should keep you from doing it.
Right. Okay. ותראה שהאדם אשר תלאת נפשו בעבודת בוראו, and you will see that a man, when his soul is inflamed as he's working, doing the work of his creator, ודאי שלא יתעצל בעשיית מצוותיו. Of course he will not be lazy when he is doing the mitzvot, אלא תהיה תנועתו כתנועת האש המהירה. His motion will be like the motion of a flame, כי לא ינוח ולא ישקוט עד אם תחילה הדבר להשלימו, and he will not rest and he will not be silent until the whole mitzvah, the whole action has been completed. Kila is also like completion, like also like a flame,
complete, extinguish
something completely. So kila is like, that's the word that's used there. ואומנם יתבונן עוד, but יתבונן מתבונן עוד, שכמו שהזריזות הוא תולדת ההתלהטות הפנימי, we can see, however, that if we look further, that just like the zrizut, the zeal, is the outcome of having internal motivation, כן מן הזריזות יולד ההתלהטות. Also, by being motivated, you can create the flame. So it's
reflexive,
reflexive, or it's bidirectional.
Yeah,
that was the word I was looking for.
Reciprocal. I think that's
Maybe somebody in the comments can add another one for us. Veinu.
Well, I'm sure Donnie, having taught this many times,
something in the tradition that they use a specific English words to define this. והיינו, כי מי שמרגיש עצמו במעשה המצווה כמו שהוא ממאר תנועתו החיצונה, כן, הנה הוא גורם שתבער בו תנועתו הפנימית כמו כן. So we see, or we will see, that whoever makes himself feel as he's doing the mitzvah, that he is doing it quickly and as a motivated person, as if he's motivated, this will also cause the internal combustion within him, the internal flame within him to rise and move. והחשק והחפץ יתגבר בו וילך. And the motivation and the cheshek is like the desire will increase within him. Right? It's אך אם מתנהד בכבדות בתנועת איבריו, גם תנועת רוחות תשקע ותכבה. But if somebody is very slow about something, and he's kind of goes about it very heavily, then also his internal motion and his motivation will also subside and maybe even shut off. וזה דבר שהניסיון יעידהו, and this is something that from experience we can see. So interesting because it's something that is always a thing of like, like smile at yourself in the mirror or something when you feel like really down, and that's like supposed to on a like whatever neurological or on hormonal level also.
Apparently when you smile it releases the endorphins whether you like it or not.
Right. Yeah, I always thought about this like during the day or during the week when I feel sometimes I feel more angry than usual or more sad than usual or whatever. And at some point you reach like if you need to, okay, now you need to pray, or now it's Shabbat, like you just like, you can't be angry at somebody if it's Shabbat. It's not gonna go well. So there's all these fail safes, all these mechanisms that allow you and enable you, and sometimes they require you to reset. ואומנם כבר ידעת, and you probably already knew, שאני ארצה יותר בעבודת הבורא יתברך שמו, וחפץ הלב ותשוקת הנשמה. That what God really desires when it comes to doing his work or his mitzvot is the motivation and the kavanah, the desire of the soul to do it. והוא מה שדוד המלך מתעלל בחלקו הטוב ואומר, and this is what King David said in Tehillim and Psalms, כאייל תערוג על אפיגי מים, כן נפשי תערוג אליך, כאייל תערוג על אפיגי מים, כן נפשי תערוג אליך אלוהים. Just like a deer desires the water from a spring, just like that, my soul will yearn for you, God. He also says, נחשפה וגם קלטה נפשי לחצרות השם. נחשפה, what is this?
You don't know what this is? Sama lecha nafshi, kama lecha besari, beretz ve'ayeh bli mayim. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ya, 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 ya. Kain b'kodesh chaziticha lirot u'schach vodecha. כן בקודש חזיתיך לראות ושכח כבודך. This is one of my favorite nigunim, one of the few nigunim that the Rebbe composed himself. And the first time I ever heard of Matisyahu was when he was singing this nigun. He did it so beautifully. It was beautiful. I wish I could play it for you guys. But it always kills me every time I go look it up. He misspelled it because he misunderstood the words. He misspelled it when he transliterated it. It's Tzama Lacha Nafshi. My soul thirsts for you.
How did he misspell it? Tzamacha nafshi.
Tzama Lechol Nafshi.
Chol.
My thirst, my soul thirsts for everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Kama Lacha Basari. My flesh has withered away. Be'eretz Tzia ve'ayef, in a land that is dry and parched and weak. Be'eretz Tzia ve'ayef bli mayim, that has no water. Ken bakodesh chaziticha, similarly in the holy places. I glanced at you, lirot uscha ve'ukodecha, to see your strength and your glory.
I don't think I've encountered, or I don't remember this nigun. I will have to ask around.
Donnie says, I always say after every TLC conference, everything is 10 out of 10, except no kumsitz. And Verbrengen is so much better than a Christian Eucharist. Like, Christians don't even understand what a Eucharist means. You make Kiddush, you make Hamotzi, you sit, and you have a bissel gefilte fish with a bissel chrein, and then you bring out the schnapps, and you say a l'chaim, and then you sing a few nigunim. What?
A bissel gefilte fish.
A bissel gefilte fish and a bissel schnapps. Come on. A Verbrengen. A Verbrengen. Okay, we're having too much fun.
No, that's good.
This is the only time I've ever sang on stream, because I generally would not, but this is supposed to be our little Hasidish thing.
Right, so, we need a chazan. I mean, we're gonna.
And it's the Rebbe's nigun. What can I do? The Rebbe's nigun. Although I probably butchered it, and anybody who actually knows the Rebbe's nigunim thinks I'm a shagitz, and they're right. But I tried.
Well, you get the merit for trying, for the effort.
Be'ezrat Hashem.
Okay. ואולם, האדם אשר אין החמדה הזו לוהטת בו כראוי. However, a person who is this yearning, this wanting, is inflamed within him, but not appropriately. עצה טובה היא לו שיזדרז ברצונו, כדי שימשך מזה שתולד בו החמדה בטבע. Okay, so what he's saying is not necessarily inappropriately, but not naturally. So not fully.
Yeah, if it's not actually like just happening out of its own,
right? Surface level.
Still do it in order to bring about more of it.
Right. Fake it till you make it, right? Exactly. So you wanna, even though it's not real, at least initially, you wanna do it because you're trying to build a spark. Because the outer motion will awaken the inner motion, right? And of course, we know that the external, the physical motion is more readily available to a person than the one inside of him. But if you use what is readily available to you, right, like doing something as if you're motivated about it, then if you do that, you will be able to eventually get what you don't have right now, which is the inner flame and motivation, the inner motion, as he keeps calling it. Because this inner Simcha, joy will be born inside of him, והחפץ והחמדה מכוח מה? שהוא מתלהט בתנועתו ברצון. And the yearning and the wanting from מכוח מה? From, how does he use כוח מה?
מכוח, from the potential, מה שהוא מתלהט בתנועתו ברצון. That he's trying to make himself inflamed in moving himself by force of will.
Right, so it's really is like building a fire, like it's really this this physical motion, even in the visual way.
Yeah.
והוא מה שהיה הנביא אומר, and this is what the prophet said, or is this how do you pronounce
Hosea.
this? Hosea.
Yeah.
ונדעה נרדפה לדעת את השם, וכתוב, and it's also said, אחרי השם ילכו כי אריה ישאג. And so it says, Hosea says, after God they will, he says, let us run to know the Lord. And also he says, and after God they will go, who shall roar like a lion.
Yeah. That was chapter 7.
That was chapter 7. So it was talking about, if we had to summarize it for ourselves, it was talking about the two parts of zeal, one before the action and one after the action. So
correct.
One before the action is once you have the opportunity to do something or it arises or it's the time to do it, you want to be quick about it. Right? So if it's like you woke up and like it's time for a shacharit or to put tefillin, you want to be quick about it, you don't want to dwell. And then as you're doing it, you want to do it quickly and be able to finish it, so that if you're in the middle of wrapping tefillin and you know that you might get a call, you don't want to delay, you don't want to be distracted too much, you want to finish it and do it properly. Yeah. But also he talks, so those are the two parts. But also then he raises he talked about
the inner aspect and the outer aspect of a person who is actually involved in doing something, right? The outer aspect, which comes easier, is to force yourself out of a force of will, whereas the inner aspect, somebody who truly is involved in it and is in love with it and aflame with the love of God, which, I mean, this is very much similar to what the Alter Rebbe talks about in Tanya. Right? He even though it would be nice for that to happen, it doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
And so even in such a case, a person should force themselves to physically go ahead and do whatever it is, and that may in fact awaken within him this desire and love for doing the mitzvah.
Interesting. It kind of, I feel like it might be related to what we briefly discussed, and I was raised when I joined that conversation. You're talking about, if you're observant or not observant, however you want to call it, but and having the trappings, right, of being observant, and is that useful for a person or is that detrimental at some point, right? Because you're doing something without any effort. Actually, one thing, I'll just mention this, and I'll add this. I heard a discussion, maybe it was Rabbi Breitowitz that was talking about this, and he was actually saying about Chabad that one of the criticisms that people have about, especially the tefillin project, is that they say that it's, you make somebody wear tefillin and it's he did a mitzvah, but really you made somebody wear tefillin, he didn't really have the right intention, he doesn't even believe in God, you just gave it to him, and he what does it mean?
Coerced him even, yeah.
Of course, it might be even worse because he doesn't have the intention, you coerced him, right? So is that good or bad, right?
So there's a video going around Twitter. Jake Paul is talking about something, and behind him there's a guy with tzitzis who's going to pick up his tefillin because apparently there's a Chabad guy. So Jake Paul, apparently it's possible that his maternal grandmother was Jewish, and he thinks of himself as Jewish. So this guy goes and puts on tefillin with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a whole discussion like you're putting tefillin on Jake Paul, like. And he was talking about something about Mike Tyson, like having Parkinson or whatever, and they're talking about like doing drugs and whatever, right?
Right.
The guy with
totally not the setting of
not the setting of right. But no, I mean, and this was what we were talking about actually with Donnie about Ari Shafir, right? The question was, so he was in his room on a Friday night reading, and he wanted to go to bed, and apparently something happened with the Shabbos lamp, so he couldn't just close the Shabbos lamp. For people who don't know what a Shabbos lamp is, it's a light bulb with a cover that completely covers it, so you don't have to turn it off in order for it not to give light anymore. Right? So you can turn it on and off in essence without turning it on and off. Right? And something happened apparently to the cover. He wanted to turn it off because he wanted to go to sleep. And he realized to himself, oh, I don't care actually if I don't actually care. I don't think God cares, right? I'm just afraid of other people. So in one sense, you would say, hey, like, I don't want you to do it because you're afraid of me. But in another sense, you know what? Do it even though you're afraid of people. It might engender in you a desire to do it.
Right. I mean, social norms or social cohesion is not entirely bad. It's like, like the super ego or whatever it would be. It's like it's not something that you can live without necessarily. So it can be used to improve or perfect a person. But the question is to what direction?
Yeah. And I mean, really, it does become a question of how much that person resents it. Like when you're talking about a little child, right? You make the child clean his room, right? And even if he doesn't want to do it, you make him clean his room. And you make him, wait 6 hours after eating cholent before he can have ice cream. Right? Yeah. Christian says, especially given the image we're made in. The only reason I'm not reading Jan God's things is because he insulted my singing. And I am very, very insulted that he thought my singing was only so-so.
Maybe for him, so-so is so amazing. And he forgot to put amazing at the end of it.
Yeah, he's a meanie poo-poo head. I mean, Donnie at least lied and said it was actually beautiful, Jacob.
So maybe Jan goes follows Shammai and
and says it's better not to lie, even if it. Nah, it's better. Lie to me. No. What else? We have 10 more minutes. We can't start a whole new chapter.
Yeah,
it's going to take more than 10 minutes.
Trying to think. Yeah, no. So I mean, I wish there was a. I guess resentment is a good signal for understanding when something might be. You might be coercing yourself to a degree that is detrimental.
I mean, part of what he said, right, is now our nature is kaved, right? But latid lavo, right? In the world to come, we're going to actually want very much to do things. It's going to be natural as schar, right? As a reward for how we've forced ourselves to do things in this world.
It's funny because it's like I guess it makes me think of like that happens also through the generations. Like you might have had a really bad experience,
Yeah.
or your father might have had a really bad experience, or a really bad habit, or whatever. And for them, it's harder for them to, like, they've already lost something through that. But in you, they have the opportunity. Like now you don't even have to make the decision whether to do that thing or not do that thing, because they've put you in a position where for you it's just natural to do it. The example that comes to mind, I remember Rabbi Gottlieb was talking about how when he first started being observant, it was so hard for him to do mincha. It was like he just couldn't, like it was like in the middle of the day. And
Mincha is easy. Shachrit was always difficult. Shachrit and Arvit. Arvit, you want to go to bed. Shachrit, you just got up. Mincha is the easiest one.
Well, I mean, if you're a working person and like you in the middle of the day, you need to tell your boss, listen, I need to go somewhere, and I need to stop. And like,
well, the difficulty with mincha when I was in school was finding a place to daven.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was tough. Tough for him to do it. But now his sons they don't even need to, like, they've started doing it so early that like all of their life is already positioned in a way that they don't even need to think about.
And they live in Eretz Yisrael where you can throw a stone and hit 10 different minyanim.
Right. You go to minyan factories, I've been told they are, right? Like, yeah.
Every large building that has Shomer Shabbat people living in it, the the bomb shelter has a Sefer Torah in it, and they have Shachrit minyanim and Mincha minyanim and Arvit minyanim, like every building that's more than 4 or 5 stories, and it's mostly Shomer Shabbat. The the bomb shelter is always has, maybe not a Sefer Torah, but always has Sidurim and people making minyanim there.
Yeah, I don't know. My bomb shelters were always full of parts of bicycles, old mattresses, and cinder blocks. And the buildings that I lived in.
Okay. I guess there weren't too many people davening.
Yeah, maybe not necessarily in the buildings, but yeah, maybe I missed it. It wasn't in my salience landscape to look for a Sefer Torah at that time.
Maybe, yeah. Bomb shelter is a good place for a Sefer Torah.
I mean, yeah. If you need to pray for something, if it's also going to be a bomb shelter is a good place to.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, this reminds me, the news came out today that apparently the Bibas kids and Shira Bibas and 2 kids, Ariel and Kafir, apparently are not with us anymore. I mean, yeah, that hit hard.
Yeah, not easy.
Yeah.
Like getting bad news all over again.
Yeah, I mean, it's at least the babies, at least the babies. But nope. Okay, I think that's about it. End the stream.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, everybody.
Be well, everybody.